However, when the peace march entered Bhutan, the royal government of Bhutan mobilized its army and crushed the appeal movement.
Concerned at the plight of the refugees, the European Parliament adopted a resolution calling on the government of Bhutan to make practical preparation for the return of refugees and to safeguard the rights of minorities in its territory. In exile, under the chairmanship of Rongtong Könle Dorji, the United Front for Democracy in Bhutan was established. The king, instead of addressing the political crisis, started to devise methods of suppressing the movement. He then requested the government of India to extradite Rongtong, who was, at that time, in New Delhi. Rongtong was arrested and detained in Tihar jail. Under city bail, Rongtong continues to remain confined in New Delhi, the capital of India. In the absence of Rongtong, Tinley Penjor was elected as the acting chairman of the United Front for Democracy. Meanwhile, religious persecution heightened in eastern Bhutan.
In 1997, thousands of Shachos came to the street demanding religious freedom and reopening of Nyingmapa institutions. But the government violently repressed the movement. Gomchen Karma, a Nyingmapa monk, was shot and killed by Zongdar Hakpa Dorji. And Khenpo Thinle Vezer, chief abbot of one of the institutions, was arrested, tortured and imprisoned.
Soon, the exodus of Nyingmapa monks and their families from eastern Bhutan started, with them ending up in Nepal. Each passing day, the political and refugee problems are getting more and more complex, and the bilateral dialogue remains deadlocked. In 1992, King Jigme Singhe Wangchuk declared in the parliament that he would abdicate the throne if he did not solve the problem within 3 years. Nonetheless, he continued to rule far beyond the 3-year deadline without solving the problem, and only on 15th December 2006 did he abdicate, handing over his responsibilities to his son. Sonam Dema in Thimphu believes that, and I quote, "Bhutan will see unparalleled changes in all spheres of life, with a young king and a fast-growing educated population replacing the old." Similarly, Dr. Dhakal is optimistic.
Our country is facing political problem as well as the humanitarian refugee problem, and he has made statement in the academia that he is very determined to solve it. During his tenure, we would like to see the country progress in overall development and solving the problem once for all.
However, the way in which the new king's minister has made a public statement in regard to the political and refugee problems, the signals are not very positive.
The statement given by the Foreign Minister of Bhutan, Khandu Wangchuk, is very obnoxious, labeling the peaceful democratic movement and human rights movement as a radical and terrorist movement. Government of Bhutan is trying to hide all wrongdoings. If the government of Bhutan continues its stubborn position, it may lead the nation to disastrous consequences.
Still, no one knows how the new king plans to address the ongoing political and refugee problems. In Thimphu, he is actively seen talking to children, sharing his vision. In stark contrast, the children in the camps in Nepal, weary of their abnormal lifestyle, are yearning to be rescued urgently.
बालबालिका लामो समयसम्म असामान्य परिस्थितिमा शरणार्थी शिविरमा बस्नु परिरहेकोले गर्दा र शैक्षिक वातावरण पनि दिनानुदिन खस्किँदै गइरहेको, प्रशासनिक क्षेत्र पनि चलाउन गाह्रो परिरहेको अवस्थामा शरणार्थी समस्या चाँडोभन्दा चाँडो समाधान भइदिए अन्धकारमय भविष्यबाट यी हाम्रा बालबालिकाहरूको उज्यालोतर्फ डोर्याउन सक्ने थियौँ।
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The uncertain future and not finding a solution in spite of the many years has really depressed them, and their frustration is very high. The earlier that we find a solution for the Bhutanese refugees living in the camps, better will be the future of this youth, and definitely this youth will be able to use their energy for the constructive purpose rather than for destructive purposes.
The current crisis in Bhutan began in 1988, and now, as 2008 approaches, there is still no solution in sight. Due to the prolongation of this problem, revolutionary ideas began to enter the minds of exiled youths, resulting in the formation of a Communist Party of Bhutan. 5 years have passed, and it has expanded significantly, forming several frontal organizations.
भुटान गणतान्त्रिक युवा सङ्घ स्थापना 17 मार्च 2006 मा भएको हो। यस भुटान गणतान्त्रिक युवा सङ्घ मार्क्सवाद, लेनिनवाद, माओवादको सिद्धान्तलाई आत्मसात गरेर अगाडि बढ्नेछ र पुरानो सडै गलेको राज्य सत्तालाई ध्वंस गर्नको निम्ति र नयाँ जनवादी गणतन्त्र स्थापना गर्नको निम्ति नै यस सङ्घको जन्म भएको हो।
Activities have already been launched outside and inside Bhutan which are clearly against the interests of the monarchy. The monarchy in Bhutan has always been apprehensive of two institutions, namely theocracy and democracy. Until 16th December 1907, Bhutan was a theocracy ruled by the incarnations of the revered Lama called Shabdrung. But with the blessing of the British, Jogen Gazmeer, the governor of Tongsa province, established the monarchy in Bhutan on 17th December 1907. On 12th November 1931, the 6th Shabdrung was assassinated when he attempted to revive his traditional authority. His subsequent incarnations were subjected to a similar fate.
Babu Karchung was assigned by the central government to assassinate 8 Shabdrung in 1953. He directed his henchmen to detain him in Tashkent. He was later on suffocated to death.
The 9th Shabdrung took asylum in India at the age of 8 and passed away in 2003. Food poisoning was suspected. On 2nd November 2003, the 10th Shabdrung was born in Tashiyangtse in Bhutan and brought to Buddha Gaya in India.
The 10th Shabdrung was recognized and confirmed by 17 Karmapa. However, Bhutan government took him from Buddha Gaya deceitfully and made him stay in Chirang as an ordinary monk. What will be his fate? No one knows.
The new king has placed severe restrictions on the child Shabdrung, who could possibly have challenged his rule. In Nepal too, a handful of Maoists launched People's War 13 years ago. During this conflict, tens of thousands have been internally displaced, over 1,000 have disappeared, and more than 13,000 have been killed. Trying to maintain the status quo, the monarchy in Bhutan has been persistently avoiding to seek a peaceful political solution to the problem, due to which these Bhutanese children in the camps in Nepal are having to undergo immense hardship. After 20 years of ordeal and anguish in exile, his father, will the new king keep on procrastinating and allowing the pointless sacrifice and killings of scores of Bhutanese, or will he take some positive action? For this, Deepa and her friends will still have to wait and watch from their twilight existence in the camps.